Hello friends, welcome to yet another video in our Top Tarot Trumps series with 5 more trumps to go. We are at key 16 already, and in today's video I will be sharing with you my top 5 tarot towers together with my understanding of our today's feature arcanum. Let me begin by bringing in a tower card first to place in front of us so we have at least one tower to look at. So yeah, in my yesterday's video I shared with you my 5 most favorite historic representations of the tower card with the promise to stick to one of them only in this video, to choose one of them as my favorite. So they are the ones that I featured yesterday, and if I could only keep 2, I would probably keep these 2 towers. This one is from Jacques Abjorga, Tarot de Besançon, and this one is of course from Jean Noblet, Tarot de Marseille. I absolutely adore the Jorga tower with this feather resembling lightning, clean lines, a lot of white space, and the most adorable faces of the sun and the moon featured that we notice in this card. An escape door here is a lovely addition also, but as I'm sticking to only one historic tower for this feature, I just have to go with my trusted beloved Jean Noblet Tarot, and this one is this version of it. This card is the restoration by the late Jean-Claude Lenoir, printed on the art paper and hand stenciled by Roxane Flournoy. So I'm choosing the Noblet over the Jorga mainly for that more chaotic, intense, more visibly explosive and energetically disruptive image with the flames blasting in different directions, with the sparks, if you will, flying, well, some kind of move stones or bubbles, right, falling down as this tower begins to crumble. With the rays of the heated sun and the flames coming out of the tower, we can say that the function of the tower card, of this card, is to blast, to destroy, to bring the house down from which these 2 characters are leaping off in their attempt to escape. While of course the tower can represent a building or an organization, especially with the Marseille towers titled La Maison Dieu, the House of God, which in the past actually referred to a hospital or a place accommodating those in need, those who need help. It also can be, as the building, a literal prison, but then the tower building itself is really more symbolic than literal. Well, most commonly when this arcanum shows up in our readings. And also proportionally, this little guy is not jumping from a great height either. So this card does suggest, however, that the change that is sudden is coming, and the fall is in the cards, right? So the fall is the fall. With the tower appearing in our readings, we may experience heightened intensities, disruption, the breakdown of the structures, whatever they may be, and of course depending on the question posed to the cards and the cards that would surround the tower card in the reading. This card also may signify a much needed upcoming breakthrough, awakening, or a release of or relief from pressures, which can happen as all the illuminated sparks and bubbles and the lightning and the flames, they they shine the light, right, on the things that are hidden. They shine the light over the darkness, heaviness, inertia, complacency. And with that, let me move on to my top tower number 2. So this is the Tower card from the Darkness of Light Tarot by Tony D. Mauro. Again, in this card, we are with much intensity and brutal, quite disastrous, really, destruction of this tower as a structure, but also that hopeful opening, right, for us to rebuild from a clean slate. The titles of the mages in the Darkness of Light Tarot are in Italian, La Torre, which I very welcome. So La Torre means tower, of course, and this one is depicted here in the darkness of the night, in the process of crumbling down, with its even very foundation eroding down into the rough, stormy sea. The very bright, striking lightning strikes the tower, yet we see the flames that are black, to me suggestive of the yin energies that have been bottled up, needing to be released, and that could be secrets, false pretenses, perhaps, among those darker energies. Major revelations can be brought in by the tower moments. It's like a brutal shake-up, causing a light bulb to go on well after the crown, right after the crown had been knocked down. The Tower card always invites me to ask myself what it is that needs to be knocked down, what needs to be demolished and cleared out to create a room for the new. Then I have the Tower from the Gentle Tarot by Mary in the Sky by Maritza Reis Aparicio Tovar. And in this representation of key 16, we are with this figure seated very visibly peacefully in a meditation pose atop the grass hill, amongst all the elements in the expressions, well, amidst the storm, really. Sitting on the coals, holding fire in their hands, this character is not visibly bothered at all by the heavy winds and the waves of tsunami. This character is not even bothered by the lightning that is about to striking them in the direction of their heart. So this portrayal is about embracing changes and surrendering to the life storms which we cannot control, to create space for renewal. And the rainbow is already there, the rainbow of hope that has already appeared in the sky. So I think it's a great representation, contemporary representation of key 16 and tarot. Alright, moving on to the fourth of my top favorite tower cards, in which I have the very powerful tower from the Falarcos Tarot by Carmen Sorrenti. In fact, this card, perhaps if I had to choose a favorite card from the Falarcos Tarot, this one is a favorite of mine from this deck. While the bursting of the tower is sudden with the appearance of the trump, we may reflect on the tension and pressures that may have built up over a long time, causing the shocking, uncomfortable, painful, yet necessary at the same time burst, breaking us apart as it's shown in these cards, so that the liberation can be possible. This young woman in this card, visibly she is jumping, willingly jumping off the ground, almost trying to get into that light, for this light to break her in half, or more so to break her free. This card is saying almost enough is enough to me, and it holds that Kali, almost Kali goddess like energy. But let me read a little bit from the booklet that comes with this deck. So the tower, the elemental forces all rush through you. Will it be a trial by fire, water, air, earth, or all of the above? Lightning strikes and splits your soul into 1,000 colors. This is an awakening. So yeah, much needed awakening, which doesn't come without pain, without discomfort. I mean, this image is so visceral, as in the visceral response I personally have to these cards, and how strong of the painting it is too, and rather an excellent concept for the Tower card. Just incredible, don't you think? And with that, we arrived at my last card for this video. And yes, the Sacred India Tarot by Rohit Arya and Jane Addams is back and is here to stay. This tarot has my yogi heart, really, and in my books it's exceptional, including this book that comes with this guidebook is excellent too. So this is the card, and this Tower card is based around the Shiva Tripurantaka story, which I will now try to give you a 2-minute version of. First, Shiva, of course, is God, one of the main gods in Hindu pantheon, and Tripura means 3 cities. Now to the story. So there were 3 brothers named Kamalaksha, Tarakaksha, and Vidyunmali, not important, but these 3 brothers, they badly desired immortality and believed they would be able to cheat death by building 3 magical cities above the earth. So the cities were the Iron City, Silver, and Gold, and each brother took a city to rule over. In this brilliant guidebook, these 3 cities in the story are linked to the lower 3 chakras, and with that, lower, more primal aspects of consciousness. So the Iron City represents Muladhara, which is the root chakra. The Silver City represents the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, and the Gold City is Manipura, referring to the 3rd solar plexus chakra. As the 3 brothers were all about grasping, we can say that these 3 cities represent the aggravated qualities of the lower chakras, in them being greed, control, lust, overindulgence, pride, that desire for power, egoism, just to name a few. So of course Shiva, being the destroyer, who wanted to destroy just the mentioned aspects that I just mentioned, he wouldn't have any of it, right? So he said to destroy those primitive ego-driven self-identifications that the three brothers were holding on to. So to diminish, to destroy the triple cities, Tripura, Shiva got onto the chariot driven by god Brahma, ready with his bow and arrow represented by god Vishnu. The tip of this arrow, we see the fire, right, was Agni, the spirit of fire, where the base of the arrow was air, or the god of air, spirit of air, Vayu. So Shiva, armed with the bow and the arrow on the chariot, waited for that special moment when the three cities were aligned in the sky, and shot his arrow, with which he succeeded in shattering the conditioning of the lower chakras, transforming greed into generosity, lust into love, egoism into selflessness, so that the consciousness could rise up to the heart chakra, which is called anahata, so that the awakening or awakened consciousness, if you will be possible. Awakened consciousness, right? A wonderful outcome for the Tower card, I think. So yes, very often there is mentioning of the ego when the Tower card appears, with the top of the tower being associated with the human head being struck by the lightning and causing that tower decapitation. Rather than having head decapitated, I like this Shiva Tripurantaka story more, but then of course I'm very biased here, as being a student of yoga. The stories from the Hindu pantheons like that, they, and especially when they link to chakras and energy bodies, the stories like that, they resonate with me. And just to recap, here are my top 5 tarot towers. So we have the Jean Noble tarot here, the one from the darkness of light. Gentle tarot is this tower is from Falarcos tarot and the Sacred India tarot. Now, going back to this card for a moment, I just remembered I wanted to mention that very often Tower card appears to me signifying bringing the house down. The first time I learned about this aspect of the card was in my earlier tarot studies with Camellia Elias, and more often than not, this interpretation has been very on point in my readings when asking the potential, kind of the questions about the potential success or failure. For example, the questions of the kind of how will the yoga and meditation workshop I am about to teach will go, how will I enjoy the upcoming comedy show, or in the predictive fun readings, asking which team or player would win in certain sports or certain games. So I have had many times when the Tower card appears, especially with the Sun card, which actually meant the breaking success or explosive success, and a win in the predictive readings, right? Sports readings, when I read for sports, I love doing those predictions for practice. So yes, to know whether it's crash and burn or having an explosive breakthrough that makes you a hot topic of the day, we will need more context, of course, more cards on the table, and also consideration of visibility when doing our readings. And with that, all is left for me is to say thank you for being here and for your time. I cannot wait to hear about how you understand the Tower card, and I look forward to seeing your top tarot towers, my friends. Sending much love to you all, and I will catch you soon in my next video.